Welcome. I'm Benjamin, and I'm going to talk about working with strings or text formatted data. In particular, I'm focusing on preparing data for use in data tables. The basic left and right string formulas take two arguments. These are the actual source string and the number of characters to return. Also, the right function uses the same two arguments, except it takes the characters from the right side. Finally, we have the mid function, which takes three arguments, the same two as the left and right functions, but in between the two arguments, we have to enter the position to begin our substring. So in this example, I want to extract the first four characters beginning at the sixth character position. As you see, the sixth position begins with the letter F. Also, FYI, blank spaces are characters just like letters and numerals. So starting with F at position 6, we find that the last argument is 4, which is the number of characters we want to display. There are many other text functions. I won't go over them all. Rather, I'll review the ones that I've used most often in my job. One of them is the len or len function, which returns the number of characters in a cell, including spaces or extra spaces. The len function takes just one argument, which is the cell reference. The len function I consider a gateway function, meaning that it's used in other functions for specific formulas. The trim function is useful for removing extra spaces from a text string. Note that in the middle of a string, the trim function will ignore single spaces. As an example, I added 2 extra spaces in the beginning of the cell containing the name Mildred Nussbaum. First, notice that the len function increased to 18. Only the spaces at the beginning are removed, not the single space separating the first and last name. If you want to eliminate all spaces, you'll need to apply a more complicated formula, which I'll demo shortly. As an aside, in my opinion, Microsoft should add an argument to this function to remove single spaces in a future update. Another very useful function is the clean function, and it removes non-printable characters. It is related to the trim function that we discussed earlier, but it doesn't remove spaces. Rather, it deletes hard returns. Here's a simple example. Notice how I'm typing each word of this title so it appears on a separate line. Well, by applying the clean function, which only takes one argument, by the way, I've removed the hard spaces, and each word, therefore, appears on the same line. However, the real-world use is to deal with importing data tables from different software platforms, like Oracle or custom proprietary systems. Often, the data conversion to Excel causes the headings to get out of whack, and with the clean function, you can fix them so they'll be usable in sorts, filters, and pivot tables. Here's an example. Here I downloaded this data set from a public website. However, for clarity, I erased the data so that only the headings are displayed. The headings are formatted with line breaks, which I want to remove. So I insert a row where I type the clean function and use as my argument the heading cell directly above. Then I copy the formula across to capture the final heading in column E. Finally, to make the headings into literal text, I copy and paste in place using the paste values command. Before I leave the clean function, I'll show you how you can combine the trim function and the clean function. Note that this heading has extra spaces in addition to hard spaces. So we'll embed the clean function inside the trim function as shown to take care of both issues. Now I'm going to introduce methods to extract parts of data strings that are separated by a common identifier, such as a dash or a semicolon. We use the same functions for extracting the left, right, and mid portions of a string. Assume you have to extract parts of a string from each record in a data table, and the number of characters within each separator is variable, such as you might find in a first name, last name situation, in which the separator in that case is a blank space. Here, I made up a list of reimbursable agreement numbers from various government agencies, and we have to parse the data separated by dashes into separate columns. The first thing to notice is that from one record to the next, the number of characters before, after, and within the dash separators are different. Therefore, we have to introduce a new function, the find function. The find function uses 2 required and 1 optional argument. The find function allows you to extract parts of strings from a list whose character lengths are variable from one record to another, so that you can copy the same formula down to the last record. The format is find followed by the specific character that is your separator character. In my examples, the separator is a dash, and then the source cell. The optional argument is for starting the search at any character other than the first position. We will see the optional argument applied in the right and the mid examples below. To extract the characters from the left side, we just replaced the second argument. That is the number of characters to the left of the first dash. We replace that with the find function right here. We subtract 1 because we don't want to include the dash. Then we can just copy the formula down, and you can see that all of the characters to the left of the first dash are copied. To extract the right side is just a bit more involved. The first argument is the same. It's the source cell. For the second argument, i.e. the length argument, we subtract the find function from the length of the entire string. The find function uses the optional argument because we're looking for the second instance of the dash, and therefore we want to start search after the first dash. So we use the find function for this optional argument. It's similar to a nesting find. One find nested in another find. Finally, we add 1 to the optional argument because we're starting the search at the first character following the first dash. And finally, we just copy the formula down to all the rest. Finally, to extract from the middle is yet a bit more complicated, but it uses the same concepts as already discussed. The first 2 arguments have already been seen. The start position is going to be the first position after the first dash. Therefore, we use the find function and add 1 because we don't want to include a dash. For the length argument, there are various ways to determine the length, but I found it simplest to just subtract the first dash position from the second dash position. And we're going to embed another find function as the second option here to account for the second dash. This tells the function to start counting after the second dash, and finally subtract 1 from the result to exclude any lingering dash. And we're all done. It may look somewhat overwhelming, but when you break it down, it's all logical. Okay, well, that wraps up today's strings lesson. I'll have another follow on strings lesson in the near future. If you liked what you saw and you learned something, please hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more Excel functions and related topics. Okay, thanks for listening.